Hello, and a very warm welcome to our entire Lively Later Life family.
Hi, everyone.
We're so delighted you've joined us today on the Smart Spending series, which is part of our Lively Later Life channel.
Yeah, great to be here.
Here, our mission is really to be your trusted companion, your
Mhm.
essential guide as you navigate the financial landscape and, well, confidently build a secure, truly prosperous golden age.
Mhm.
We really believe that this stage of life should be vibrant, full of possibility, and ideally, absolutely free from financial worry.
Indeed. And today we're embarking on a deep dive that I think can fundamentally transform how you view and manage your money in retirement.
Yeah.
Our focus for this session is smart investing for seniors, growing your nest egg safely and wisely.
Love it.
There's this common and frankly rather pervasive myth out there
Which one is that?
that investing is only for the young folks, right? For those actively building wealth, or maybe for people with vast sums of money already tucked away.
Ah, yes, I hear that one a lot.
Many people assume that once you're retired, your only financial focus shifts to, well, spending down your savings rather than thinking about continuing to grow them.
Oh, it's such a powerful myth, isn't it?
Yeah.
The idea that once you've retired, your investing days are just over.
Mm-hmm.
Or that it's simply too risky, maybe too complicated, or even, too late to even consider. But that really couldn't be further from the truth.
Not at all.
I was recently at a financial planning seminar, actually right here in downtown Vancouver, enjoying a nice warm cup of tea and a rather delicious scone.
Sounds lovely.
It was. And I had the pleasure of chatting with this truly lovely gentleman named Mr. Chen. He'd retired comfortably a few years back, was enjoying his grandkids and his amazing garden,
But,
but he confided in me that this quiet worry was starting to nag at him.
okay, what about?
It was about inflation. That sneaky, silent force, slowly but steadily eroding his hard-earned savings.
Ah, the silent thief, yes.
Exactly. He saw his purchasing power just diminishing right before his eyes. The cost of his favorite salmon at the market, the price of his utilities, even the fees for his gardening supplies.
All adds up.
It all seemed to creep
Yeah.
up year after year.
Mr. Chen's concern is incredibly common, and frankly, for very good reason. Inflation truly is like a silent thief.
It really is.
I mean, imagine for a moment the cost of groceries, your medications, heating your home, or even just filling up your car for a weekend drive.
Oh.
It just seems to steadily climb year after year, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
So if your money is just sitting there, maybe idling in a regular savings account, perhaps earning a paltry 0.5% or maybe 1% interest.
Which is pretty typical these days.
Right. It actually means you're actively losing purchasing power over time. That same amount of money just buys less and less each year.
Wow, put like that.
So that $100 you have today, well, if inflation is running at, say, 3%, which isn't unusual, next year it'll only buy you about $97 worth of goods. This isn't really about trying to get richer quickly. It's about just staying even. It's about preventing your hard-earned savings from shrinking in real value.
Precisely. And Mr. Chen, well, he's a proactive kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he decided he needed to learn more about low-risk investment strategies.
Good for him.
Specifically, to ensure his money kept pace with those rising costs and wouldn't just sit there losing value.
Makes perfect sense.
He told me, and I remember this quote, he said, "I realized that if my money just sat there, it would actually shrink in real value over time."
That's the key insight.
He went on, "Learning to invest wisely, even just a little, gave me so much peace of mind about my future. It felt like I was back in control."
That's powerful. Peace of mind is huge.
His proactive approach, his willingness to learn and adapt, it really highlights the profound importance of smart investing even, and I'd say perhaps especially, in retirement.
I agree. Especially.
It's all about empowering yourself, empowering our entire lively later life community, really, to maintain the vibrant lifestyle you've worked so incredibly hard for.
Mr. Chen's insight is absolutely spot on. And it's a realization I think many of you out there listening might be having right now. Perhaps you're feeling a bit uncertain about where to even begin, maybe worried about the market volatility you see on the news.
Not the big one.
Or maybe you're wondering, just like Mr. Chen initially did, is it too late to start investing? Or maybe you feel you don't have enough to make a real difference.
All very common feelings.
These are all very valid concerns, absolutely, and we are definitely here today to address them.
So, to our lively later life friends listening, we truly want to know, does Mr. Chen's story resonate with you at all?
Yeah, we'd love to hear.
Have you felt that quiet worry about your savings keeping up? What's maybe one investment question you have right now, or perhaps you have a wise financial tip you've learned on your own journey that brought you real peace of mind. We really encourage you to share your insights down in the comments below. Your experiences, your wisdom, your questions, honestly, they can empower all of us to grow our savings and navigate this financial landscape together.
Absolutely. It builds community.
It's about building that community of empowered, informed individuals who can support each other.
Well, today we're definitely here to help you make your money work smarter for you. We fundamentally believe that a lively later life should be financially secure.
Yeah.
And that includes embracing wise investment strategies tailored specifically for where you are in life right now.
Okay.
This deep dive today is designed to be your empowering guide, kind of a friendly hand through the world of smart, senior-friendly investing. We want to clear away some of that jargon, make it accessible and actionable.
That's exactly right. We'll explore accessible ways to grow your nest egg, importantly, without taking on undue risk.
Crucial point.
We'll help you understand that critical balance between risk and reward and teach you how to make informed decisions that align perfectly with your own unique retirement goals. We'll touch on everything from those really low-risk options that offer safety to effective strategies for managing inflation.
That's silent thief again.
Yes. And we'll emphasize the importance of seeking out professional financial advice right here in British Columbia, advice that's tailored to our Canadian landscape.
Very important, the local context.
So get ready to ensure your finances not only support you, but also provide that much-needed confidence and, well, calm. Let's grow that nest egg safely and wisely.
Let's do it.
Grow your savings. Smart investing for a prosperous retirement. 1. Why investing still matters in retirement. Protecting against inflation and ensuring longevity of funds.
Okay, so let's kick things off with what might seem like a very fundamental question, but honestly, it's one many seniors genuinely ask themselves.
I hear it all the time.
Why do I still need to invest when I'm retired? Shouldn't I just be enjoying my money now, without all the fuss?
It's a fair question.
It's a very valid thought process, right? It stems from that natural desire for security and maybe simplicity after years of hard work. But the answer, as Mr. Chen discovered, well, it might surprise you.
You've hit on a really critical point there. Understanding the why is truly the foundation of smart retirement planning. There are actually several compelling reasons why investing remains crucial even after you've stopped working full-time.
Okay, let's break them down.
First, and perhaps the most insidious one, is the silent thief. Inflation.
We mentioned Mr. Chen.
Exactly. We touched on this with his story, but let's make it even more concrete. Inflation is that consistent, often unnoticed, rise in the cost of pretty much everything over time.
Yeah.
Did you know that just 3% inflation, which is historically not uncommon at all, can actually cut the purchasing power of your savings in half in roughly 24 years?
In half. Wow.
It's like your money's on this quiet diet, just shrinking without you actively noticing.
That's a scary thought.
For instance, if you had, say, $100,000 in savings back in the year 2000, and it just sat in a regular savings account earning minimal interest.
Yeah.
By 2024, so this year, that same $100,000 would only buy you what approximately $56,000 could have bought back in 2000. That's assuming average inflation.
That's a huge difference.
It's not hypothetical. It's the reality of how inflation works over time. So if your money just sits in a regular savings account earning, a very modest 1% or 2% interest,
Right.
and the cost of living groceries, medications, heating your home in a chilly BC winter, even filling up the gas tank is rising at, say, 3% or 4% a year,
Which it often is.
it means you are actively losing real purchasing power. Your money is shrinking, effectively not growing.
Okay, that's clear.
Investing is essential because it's your primary tool, really, to ensure your money grows faster than inflation. That's how you protect its real value and maintain your lifestyle.
Got it. Protect the value. What's next?
Secondly, we absolutely must consider longevity. This is actually a wonderful challenge we face in the modern era.
A good problem to have.
Exactly. People are living longer, healthier, and much more active lives than ever before. Retirement isn't just a short, quiet period anymore.
True.
For many Canadians, it could realistically span 20, 30, even 40 years.
40 years. Think about that.
Right, 4 decades where you're not actively earning a paycheck from full-time work. This extended lifespan is fantastic news, of course, but it means your savings need to last just as long as you do, and maybe even longer if you want to leave a legacy. Investing is what helps those savings stretch further. It provides the necessary growth to support such a long and active period, covering things like evolving healthcare needs, hobbies, travel, even home maintenance.
So it's not just about covering today's costs, but making absolutely sure your money doesn't run out before you do. That's a powerful motivator right there.
Precisely. And this leads directly into the third point, maintaining your lifestyle. As we just discussed, costs are always rising. And beyond the everyday expenses, healthcare costs in particular can be unpredictable and, frankly, quite significant as we age.
Yeah, that's a worry for many.
If your savings are just sitting static, they simply won't be able to keep up with these rising costs. That could potentially force you to cut back on activities you love, or maybe compromise on your comfort and care.
Nobody wants that.
No. Your investments, when chosen strategically, can provide that crucial income or growth that allows you to sustain your desired lifestyle. Whether that's enjoying your grandkids, pursuing new hobbies, or taking that annual trip to Vancouver Island you always look forward to,
Yes.
rather than being forced to make difficult compromises down the road.
Makes sense. What else?
Fourth, for many people, investing in retirement is specifically about generating income.
Ah, the income stream.
Exactly. While some investments focus mainly on growth, many are actually designed precisely to offer a steady stream of income. Think of them as supplementing your pension, your government benefits like old age security or the Canada Pension Plan.
OAS and CPP.
Right. Or any other retirement funds you might have. This income can be used for your daily expenses, for that annual vacation, for those occasional home renovations, or, for those unexpected costs that always seem to crop up.
Like a leaky roof.
Exactly. For example, certain types of investments, like dividend-paying stocks, can offer regular payouts, providing a more predictable cash flow.
We'll get more into those later, I assume.
We certainly will. And finally, number 5. For those who prioritize it, smart investing can be a really powerful tool for legacy planning.
Leaving something behind.
Right. If leaving a financial legacy for your children, your grandchildren, or perhaps a cherished charity is important to you, then allowing your funds to grow strategically through investment can help ensure that you actually have more to pass on. This could mean contributing to a grandchild education fund, making a significant donation to a cause close to your heart, or simply ensuring your loved ones are provided for. It allows your generosity to extend beyond your lifetime, creating a lasting impact.
Okay, so just to reiterate then, investing in retirement isn't really about chasing huge, risky returns or trying to get rich quick.
Definitely not.
It's fundamentally about something far more practical and, well, vital. It's about protecting your purchasing power, ensuring your financial security for the long haul, and maintaining the quality of life you've worked so hard to achieve.
Exactly.
It's about being proactive and thoughtful about your financial well-being, which ultimately gives you genuine tranquility.
Precisely. And to really help you visualize this, maybe think of it this way. Think of your retirement savings as like a trusted old friend.
Okay, I like that. A trusted friend.
Yeah. This friend has been with you through thick and thin, right? Through all your working years. Now, to keep that friend healthy and strong, full of vitality, and capable of supporting you for many, many years to come, you need to nurture it.
Nurture the friend. Okay.
Smart investing, in this analogy, is like providing that trusted old friend with the best possible vitamins and exercise. A good diet, which is prudent spending, maybe some strength training that's your stable investments like GICs and bonds, and perhaps some cardio, like growth-oriented dividend stocks, to keep things robust and ready for anything.
I like that visual. Vitamins and exercise for your money?
It's an active process of care, right? Ensuring your financial friend stays robust and ready for whatever life throws your way. 2. Understanding risk and reward. Tailoring investments to your comfort level.
Now, let's talk about a word that, well, for many people can sound a little intimidating, maybe even scary when it comes to money.
I know the one.
Risk. For Mr. Chen, remember, the very mention of the stock market used to make him nervous.
A very common reaction.
But here's the thing. Understanding risk is absolutely essential, not just for investors, but really for anyone looking to make informed decisions about their money. It's not about avoiding risk entirely, is it? It's more about comprehending it and then, well, managing it.
You're absolutely right. The word risk often conjures these images of like reckless gambling or something.
Yeah.
But in the world of investing, it's actually a measured, calculated concept. We need to demystify it, especially for our lively later life audience.
That sounds demystify.
At its core, there's this fundamental principle called risk versus reward. Generally speaking, higher potential returns are almost always associated with higher risk.
Okay, higher return, higher risk.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
If an investment promises a very high return, maybe 10–15% annually, it usually means there's a greater chance that you could lose some, or maybe even all, of your principal investment.
Right.
Conversely, lower risk investments tend to offer more stability. The likelihood of losing your initial money is very low.
Yeah.
But in exchange for that security, they typically yield lower returns, perhaps only 1–3% annually.
It's a trade-off again.
It's a trade-off, exactly. And finding your personal balance is absolutely key. It's about understanding that every investment has some level of risk, even if it's just the risk of inflation eroding your purchasing power if you do nothing at all.
So it's not really a matter of no risk, but more like how much risk are you personally comfortable with? And I guess how do we even begin to measure that personal comfort level?
Precisely. And that balance ties directly into something called your risk tolerance.
Okay.
This is a hugely crucial factor, especially when you're investing in retirement. Risk tolerance isn't just about how much money you could theoretically afford to lose.
Yeah.
It's also very much about your emotional comfort level.
Ah, the feelings part.
Yes. How comfortable are you if you check your investment statement one month and see that its value has dipped temporarily, maybe by 5% or 10%? Will that cause you sleepless nights?
Good question.
Most seniors, quite understandably, prioritize capital preservation,
Meaning?
meaning they want to protect their initial investment and avoid losing money rather than chasing aggressive growth.
Yeah.
Their financial goals have shifted, right? From accumulation during working years to protection and income in retirement.
Makes sense.
This is where a good financial advisor can be incredibly helpful. They can guide you through a series of questions and scenarios, often it's called a risk assessment questionnaire, to help you objectively determine your individual risk tolerance.
So they help you figure it out?
Yes, ensuring your investments align with what allows you to feel secure and, well, content. They might ask how you reacted during past market downturns, or how you'd feel if a portion of your portfolio dropped by a certain percentage. It's very personal.
Okay. What else influences this?
Another vital element to consider is your time horizon.
Time horizon. How long you plan to invest.
Exactly. It refers to how long you plan to keep your money invested before you genuinely need to access it. This time frame significantly impacts your investment choices.
How so?
Well, for instance, any money you anticipate needing within the next, say, 1 to 5 years maybe for a large home repair, an upcoming trip to visit family in another province, or a planned major purchase like a new car.
Right. Short-term needs.
That money should ideally be in very low-risk options, things like high-interest savings accounts or short-term GICs. You absolutely don't want to risk those funds being down right when you need them.
Makes sense. Don't gamble with the roof repair money.
Exactly. However, for funds that you genuinely won't need to touch for 10 or more years, perhaps money earmarked for much later in retirement, or for potential future long-term care costs, or maybe for legacy planning.
Longer-term goals.
With that longer time horizon, you have more time to potentially recover from any market dips. So you might consider slightly more growth-oriented investments for that portion. It allows for the potential for greater returns without that immediate pressure.
Oh, okay. Risk tolerance, time horizon.
Well, what else? And finally, and perhaps most importantly for your day-to-day well-being, there's what I call the sleep at night factor.
Ah, yes. The crucial one.
This is paramount. The primary purpose of your retirement savings, remember, is to provide financial security and peace of mind. If choosing certain investments, even those that might have high potential returns on paper, causes you undue stress, anxiety, or sleepless nights every time the market fluctuates,
Then it's not worth it.
it's simply not the right investment for you. Regardless of its theoretical potential, if it compromises your mental and emotional well-being, it's actually counterproductive to the goal of a lively later life.
Good point.
Your financial plan should support your comfort and serenity, not detract from it. Remember Mr. Chen. He ultimately chose to invest in a way that ensured his peace of mind, even if it meant slightly lower returns, because that allowed him to truly enjoy his retirement.
Absolutely. It truly is about finding that unique sweet spot, isn't it? That optimal balance where your money grows sufficiently to meet your needs and support your desired lifestyle, but without causing that excessive worry or emotional strain.
That's the goal.
It's a very personal decision, and clearly there's no one-size-fits-all answer. So, what's a key takeaway for anyone trying to find this balance?
Okay, and that leads us directly to a really crucial smart tip for our lively later life community. Are you ready?
Right.
Never invest in something you don't fully understand.
Simple but powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
This is perhaps one of the most common pitfalls we see. If a financial product sounds too good to be true, maybe it promises incredibly high, guaranteed returns with no risk, it probably is.
Red flag.
Huge red flag. These often turn out to be scams or maybe overly complex products designed to benefit the seller much more than the investor. Always ask questions.
Don't be afraid to ask.
Keep asking until you feel completely comfortable and informed about how the investment works, what the potential risks really are, and what all the fees entail. If an advisor or salesperson can't or won't explain it clearly in plain language that you understand, walk away.
Good advice.
Your financial future is just too important to leave to vague promises or things you don't grasp. 3. Senior-friendly investment options. GICs, bonds, dividend stocks, and more.
Okay. With that really important understanding of risk and reward firmly in mind, and the absolute necessity of only investing in what you comprehend, let's now transition to looking at some specific common investment types, the ones that are often particularly well-suited for seniors.
Good idea.
These options tend to offer that balance of security and maybe some growth potential, giving you practical tools for your financial toolkit.
Excellent point. Let's break down some of these popular and accessible options and maybe weigh their pros and cons a bit.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
First up, a very popular and very familiar choice for many Canadians, especially seniors, are guaranteed investment certificates or GICs.
Ah, GICs.
Yes. How they work is actually quite straightforward. You are essentially lending your money to a financial institution like a bank or a credit union for a set period of time, maybe 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years.
Okay.
In return, the institution guarantees, hence the name, to give your principal investment back to you at the end of that term, along with a fixed rate of return, or interest.
Guaranteed sounds good.
Their key appeal is definitely their very low risk profile. Your principal is guaranteed, making them an excellent choice for money you absolutely cannot afford to lose.
Right.
And they're widely available at pretty much all major banks and credit unions right across British Columbia, making them incredibly accessible.
Okay, GICs sound wonderfully safe, almost too safe. I mean, is there a downside to playing it too safe, especially with that inflation thief always lurking?
That's a very perceptive question. And yes, there can be a subtle downside, or rather something to be aware of.
Okay.
While GICs offer basically unparalleled safety for your principal, their returns often struggle to keep pace with inflation over the long term, especially during periods of higher inflation like we've seen recently. So a common mistake seniors might make is putting too much of their overall portfolio into GICs, often underestimating that long-term erosion of purchasing power we talked about.
Ah, okay. Not putting all the eggs in the GIC basket.
Exactly. Another point is liquidity. Your money is locked in for the term. If you suddenly need it out early, there might be penalties involved.
Right, locked in.
A smart strategy some people use is called GIC laddering.
Laddering. How does that work?
Instead of putting all your GIC money into one single 5-year GIC, you might split it up. Maybe put a fifth into a 1-year GIC, a fifth into a 2-year, and so on, up to 5 years.
Okay.
This way you have one GIC maturing each year. This gives you regular access to some funds if needed, and it also allows you to reinvest at potentially higher rates if interest rates happen to rise when one matures. It adds flexibility.
Ah, clever. GIC laddering. Got it. What's next after GICs?
Next, let's talk about bonds. Conceptually, bonds are similar to GICs in that you are lending money.
Okay, still lending.
However, instead of lending to a bank, you're typically lending money to a government like the Canadian federal government or provincial government, which are generally considered very safe issuers.
Right, government bonds.
Or you might lend to a corporation. In return, they promise to pay you regular interest payments over a specified period, and then they return your principal amount at the end, which is called maturity.
Okay, and the risk level.
Bonds are generally considered low to moderate risk. The specific level of risk really depends on the stability and creditworthiness of the issuer.
Ah, so who you lend to matters.
Absolutely. A bond from the Canadian government, for example, is considered extremely low risk. But a bond from a smaller, maybe less established corporation might carry slightly more risk, but would likely offer a higher interest rate to compensate for that risk.
So bonds seem a bit more flexible than GICs perhaps, but still relatively secure. What should our listeners be mindful of with bonds? Anything tricky?
Well, they're generally quite secure, especially government bonds. The main thing to be mindful of with bonds is something called interest rate risk.
Interest rate risk? What's that?
Okay, imagine you buy a bond today that pays 3% interest for 10 years. Then, Next year, interest rates in the economy rise, and new 10-year bonds being issued are now paying 4%. Your existing 3% bond suddenly looks less attractive, doesn't it? If you needed to sell your bond before its maturity date, you'd likely have to sell it at a discount to attract a buyer.
Ah, I see, because they could get 4% elsewhere.
Exactly. However, it's important to remember, if you simply hold your bond until its maturity date, you will still get your full principal back plus all the promised interest payments along the way. So the risk is mainly if you need to sell early in a rising rate environment. Primarily, bonds offer stability in income.
Okay, that makes sense. What about cash for emergencies?
Good point. For your very short-term needs, we have high-interest savings accounts, or HISAs.
PISAs. Right.
Now, it's important we clarify that HISAs are not really an investment in the traditional sense. They don't offer capital appreciation or the same growth potential as other options.
Not really investing.
But they are a highly valuable place for your emergency fund.
Yeah.
That money you might need at a pinch, or for any money you anticipate needing in the very near future, say, within the next 12 to 18 months.
Got it. Short-term cash stash.
Exactly. Their benefit lies in offering slightly higher interest rates than a regular traditional savings account, while still providing instant access to your funds. They offer liquidity and safety, which is crucial for certain portions of your money. Think of them as your financial staging area for imminent expenses. Okay, now what about things with a bit more potential for growth? All right, moving into options with a bit more growth potential. Let's talk about dividend-paying stocks or exchange-traded funds, ETFs, that focus on dividends.
Okay, dividends. I hear about those.
These are essentially shares or small pieces of ownership in typically stable, well-established companies. Companies that have a long history of profitability.
Like big Canadian companies.
Often, yes. What makes them particularly attractive, especially for seniors seeking income, is that these companies regularly pay out a portion of their profits. And these payouts are called dividends directly to their shareholders.
So you get cash payments.
Correct. So with these types of investments, you potentially get two benefits. First, you receive regular income from the dividends, which can nicely supplement your retirement funds.
Nice.
And second, you also have the potential for capital appreciation, meaning the value of the stock itself might grow over time.
Income and growth potential, what's the risk level?
They generally carry a moderate risk profile. Stock values can and do fluctuate, sometimes significantly. But you can mitigate some of that risk by focusing on large, stable Canadian companies with a long history of consistent dividend payments.
The reliable ones.
Exactly. These are often referred to as dividend aristocrats or similar terms. Think of established Canadian banks, utility companies, or telecommunications companies. Many are known for their reliable payouts over decades.
I can definitely see the appeal of getting that steady income from dividends. But what happens if a company hits a rough patch? Can they just cut its dividend? How reliable is that income stream, really? And, well, how do we pick the right ones?
That's a very important set of questions. And you're right. While dividend-paying stocks offer income, they aren't entirely without risk. A company can indeed reduce or even eliminate its dividend if it faces financial difficulty. That would certainly impact your income.
Okay, so not guaranteed like a GIC?
Definitely not. This is exactly why diversification is so crucial, which we'll dive into next. You wouldn't want all your income relying on just one or two companies' dividends.
Makes sense. Spread the risk.
As for picking the right ones, investors often look for companies with a long history, not just of paying dividends, but ideally of increasing their dividends year after year. That's a sign of financial health and commitment to shareholders.
Look for growers.
Yes. Also, strong financials overall, and something called a low payout ratio. That means they're not paying out nearly all their profits as dividends, leaving room for future growth, reinvestment in the business, and importantly, a buffer for potentially tougher times.
Okay.
And for many seniors who find picking individual stocks daunting, there are dividend ETFs. These are exchange-traded funds that hold a basket of many different dividend-paying companies, often dozens or even hundreds.
Instant diversification for dividends?
Exactly. It spreads the risk significantly further. If one company in the ETF cuts its dividend, the impact on your overall income from the ETF is much smaller.
That sounds like a good option for many. Okay, what else is in the toolkit?
Finally, let's talk about balanced mutual funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs. These are excellent options for those who really want professional management and that built-in diversification we just mentioned.
Okay, funds. How do they work?
Think of them as a large basket that holds a wide mix of different assets. Stocks, bonds, maybe sometimes other investments like real estate or commodities. All chosen and managed by a professional fund manager according to a specific strategy.
So someone else does the picking and choosing.
Correct. Their key benefits are that they are inherently diversified, spreading your money across many different holdings automatically, which reduces risk, and they are managed for you, which simplifies your investment strategy significantly.
Sounds convenient.
It can be. These funds were often designed to align with specific risk profiles. So you can often choose a fund specifically labeled conservative, moderate, or maybe growth, depending on your personal comfort level and goals.
Matched to your risk tolerance.
Yes, they can be particularly appealing if you prefer a more hands-off approach and want a single investment, or maybe just a few funds that provide broad market exposure. Just one key thing to be mindful of.
Fees.
Exactly. Be mindful of their expense ratios or management fees, often called the MER in Canada. These fees are charged annually and can eat into your returns over time, so it's important to compare fees when choosing funds. Lower fees generally mean more of the return stays in your pocket.
Good tip. Lower fees are better, all else being equal. That's a fantastic overview of the core options. Really clarifies what each tool does. And, to bring it all together, here's a little lively later life kick for you. Think of these investment options as your financial toolkit.
I like it. Toolkit.
Yeah. Just like a skilled carpenter has different hammers, saws, and screwdrivers for different tasks, you, as a smart financial builder, have different tools at your disposal. Some tools, like GICs, are for maximum safety and stability. Others, like those dividend stocks, are maybe for generating steady income and a bit of growth. Still others, like the balanced funds, offer that pre-assembled, diversified approach for ease of management.
Different tools for different jobs.
Exactly. A truly smart builder knows how to use each tool wisely and for its intended purpose. You wouldn't use a hammer to cut wood, right? Just as you wouldn't put your emergency fund into a volatile stock. Each tool serves a vital purpose in constructing your secure financial future and ensuring that financial calm we talked about. 4. The power of diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Following perfectly on from our financial toolkit analogy, let me emphasize something really critical. What we're about to discuss is, I would argue, perhaps the most important principle in investing, especially crucial for seniors.
Okay, the most important. That's a big claim.
It is, but I stand by it. Diversification. It's not just some buzzword you hear on the financial news channels. It's fundamentally your primary defense against significant loss, and it's the cornerstone of any smart retirement strategy. Mr. Chen actually experienced the flip side of this principle when he realized too much of his money was concentrated in just one type of low-return investment.
Ah, right. The lack of diversification was part of his worry. Okay, so you say it's the most important principle. For those who might be new to this concept, or maybe who just think it means having, a few different stocks, can you give us a really clear explanation? What exactly is diversification? What does it truly mean in practice for, say, a Canadian senior?
It's a great question, and the good news is, the answer is actually elegantly simple at its core. Diversification means exactly what that old adage suggests, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, don't put all eggs in one basket.
In practice, it means spreading your investments across different types of assets. So instead of putting all your money into, say, just the stock of one company or maybe just GICs from one single bank,
Right.
you would spread it across various types of assets like stocks, bonds, and GICs. But importantly, it goes further than that.
How so?
It also means diversifying within those asset types. So not just holding one stock, but holding stocks from different industries, maybe some technology, some healthcare, some utilities, some financials.
Different sectors.
Exactly. And even different geographies, perhaps some Canadian companies, some American companies, maybe some international companies as well. The whole goal is to avoid having your entire financial well-being tied to the fate of just one single company or one industry or even one country's economy.
Because if that one basket falls...
Exactly. If that one basket falls, everything is potentially lost or severely damaged. For example, if you only had investments concentrated in the Canadian oil and gas sector, and then oil prices plunged unexpectedly, your entire portfolio could take a significant hit.
Yeah, I can see that.
But if you also held investments in, say, healthcare companies, maybe some technology stocks and some stable government bonds, those other sectors might perform well or at least hold their value and cushion the blow from the energy sector's decline.
Okay, so it smooths out the ride a bit. Now, why does diversification matter so much, especially for seniors? You said it's the most important principle.
Right. There are several key reasons. Firstly, and most importantly for many seniors, it's about risk reduction.
Reducing risk. Okay.
In the unpredictable world of financial markets, it's inevitable that some investments will perform well, while others may perform poorly at any given time. If you have all your money tied up in a single type of investment, and that one investment takes a hit.
Like that oil stock example.
Exactly. Maybe a particular company struggles, or interest rates move unexpectedly against your bonds, or a specific industry faces major headwinds. Your entire portfolio suffers. However, if your investments are properly diversified and one area performs poorly, other areas might perform well, or at least better.
They balance each other out.
They help balance each other out, thereby cushioning the impact, as you said, on your overall portfolio value. It dampens the volatility, those big swings up and down, and protects you from significant, potentially catastrophic losses. Think of it like a safety net for your entire financial plan. It won't eliminate all risk, that's impossible, but it dramatically reduces the risk of any single bad event completely derailing your retirement.
Okay, risk reduction is key. What else?
Secondly, diversification allows for a more balanced risk-return profile. By combining different types of assets that don't always move in perfect sync with each other.
Right, some zig when others zag.
Kind of, yes. You can potentially reduce your overall portfolio risk without sacrificing too much potential for return over the long run. For instance, having stable bonds in your portfolio can provide a steady income stream and act as a buffer against stock market volatility. Meanwhile, having a portion in carefully selected dividend-paying stocks can offer potential for growth and supplemental income.
Getting the best of different worlds.
It's about creating a portfolio blend that works for you, balancing your need for stability and income with your desire for enough growth to outpace inflation. It's not necessarily about finding the absolute highest possible return, but finding the optimal return for your specific comfort level and needs.
Okay, and this mix, this blend, there's a term for that, right?
Yes, exactly. This brings us neatly to the concept of asset allocation.
Asset allocation.
This refers to the specific mix or the proportions of different asset classes within your overall portfolio. For example, a very conservative portfolio for a retiree might be allocated as, say, 70% bonds and GICs and maybe 30% stable, large-cap, dividend-paying stocks or ETFs.
Mostly safe stuff, some growth.
Right. A slightly less conservative, maybe moderately conservative portfolio might be closer to 60% bonds, GICs, and 40% stocks. It's really important to note that a senior's asset allocation will typically be, and generally should be, significantly more conservative than a younger person's.
Because they have less time to recover from losses.
Exactly. A 30-year-old saving for retirement decades away might comfortably have 80% or more in stocks. But a 70-year-old relying on their portfolio for income will likely have a much larger portion, maybe 60, 70% or even more, in lower-risk bonds and GICs, with a smaller, carefully selected portion in stable dividend stocks for that inflation protection and income boost. This allocation is essentially your strategic blueprint, custom designed for your risk tolerance and your time horizon.
Okay, so asset allocation is like setting that personal recipe for your investments.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But once you set it, does it just stay fixed? Or do you have to keep tweaking it somehow? Markets change, right?
Excellent question. And no, it doesn't just stay fixed. That's where regular rebalancing comes into play.
Rebalancing. Okay, what's that involve?
Over time, even if you don't touch anything, your carefully chosen asset allocation will naturally start to drift. It shifts because some investment will inevitably grow faster than others.
Ah, so the proportions change on their own?
Precisely. For example, if your stock portion has a fantastic year and grows significantly, while your bonds provide steadier, lower returns, your stocks might now make up a larger percentage of your total portfolio than you originally intended. Say you aim for 40% stocks, but after a good run, they now represent 50%.
So you're accidentally taking on more risk than planned?
Exactly. You've drifted into a riskier allocation without consciously deciding to. Rebalancing is the disciplined process of periodically, maybe once a year or perhaps every 6 months, adjusting your portfolio to bring it back to your original target asset allocation.
How do you do that?
It usually means selling a small portion of the assets that have performed well, your winners, the ones that have grown beyond their target percentage, and using that money to buy more of the assets that have underperformed or lagged behind, your underdogs.
Sell high, buy low.
In a systematic way, yes. It brings everything back into balance. This disciplined approach ensures you don't unintentionally take on more risk than you're comfortable with. And, as you said, it kind of forces you to sell high and buy low in a systematic, unemotional way, which is actually a powerful, albeit often counterintuitive, investment strategy over the long term. It prevents emotional decisions, like chasing winners or panicking during downturns, from derailing your carefully crafted plan.
Okay, rebalancing sounds important, but maybe a bit complex to manage actively for some people.
It can seem that way. Which leads perfectly to another lively later life smart tip designed to simplify diversification, especially for those in our community who might not want to actively manage all these moving parts themselves.
Ooh, a simplification tip. Yes, please.
Consider looking into what are sometimes called lazy portfolios, or perhaps more commonly these days, target date retirement funds, or asset allocation ETFs.
Okay, what are those?
These types of funds are often diversified right out of the box by their very design. They typically invest in a broad mix of global stocks and bonds, all within a single fund. And critically, many of them automatically rebalance for you internally.
Ah, automatic rebalancing.
Yes, this dramatically simplifies the entire investment process, especially if you're not comfortable managing it all yourself, or, frankly, if you simply prefer a more hands-off approach. They provide that crucial diversification without you having to actively monitor and trade dozens of different individual investments. It's a simple way to achieve broad diversification and maintain your target risk level with minimal ongoing effort.
That sounds like a really practical solution for a lot of people.
Yeah.
5, seeking professional advice. When and why to consult a financial advisor in BC? Wow, this has been such an empowering deep dive already. We've built our financial toolkit. We understand risk and reward, the power of diversification. Now, for many seniors, I imagine, particularly those maybe with more complex financial situations, or perhaps just a lingering sense of uncertainty about pulling all these pieces together correctly, seeking professional guidance can be truly invaluable, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's like having a seasoned, knowledgeable guide for what can feel like a complex journey.
Yeah.
Think of a good financial advisor as a partner, someone who can help you navigate the specific nuances of your personal financial landscape, someone who understands the unique aspects of retirement planning here in Canada, and particularly the rules and opportunities right here in British Columbia.
A partner, I like that. So let's talk about when to consult an advisor. Is it just for the very wealthy, or are there specific situations where it makes sense for most people?
Great question. And no, it's definitely not just for the very wealthy. There are many common situations where their expertise is really warranted.
Like what?
Well, firstly, if you're nearing or already in retirement, this is such a critical transition point. You need to figure out the most tax-efficient ways to convert your lifelong savings, whether they're in an RRSP, maybe now like RRIF, your TFSA, or non-registered accounts, into a steady, reliable income stream that will actually last throughout your entire retirement.
That sounds complicated.
It can be. Strategic withdrawal planning becomes absolutely paramount. An advisor can help you understand things like the potential impact of old age security, OAS clawbacks, or how to best integrate your Canada Pension Plan, CPP benefits, alongside your investment withdrawal.
Okay, navigating the government benefits too.
Yes. Secondly, if you have complex assets, maybe you have more than just a simple savings account in a TFSA. This could include things like multiple employer pensions from past jobs, maybe significant real estate holdings beyond your primary home, like rental properties perhaps, or maybe you own or are in the process of selling a small business.
Right, more moving parts.
These situations really require specialized knowledge to integrate everything properly into your overall financial picture and tax planning.
Okay, what else?
Thirdly, simply uncertainty and overwhelm. Maybe you're just honestly unsure about your own true risk tolerance, or you feel completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of investment options available and just don't know where to confidently put your money.
Feeling stuck.
Exactly. An advisor can help clarify these uncertainties, breaking down complex choices into understandable terms, and help build your confidence.
Makes sense.
Fourth, maybe you have advanced planning needs. Perhaps you desire help with more sophisticated planning, like comprehensive estate planning, to ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes, but also in a very tax-efficient manner after you're gone. Or maybe you need help with intricate tax-efficient withdrawal strategies during retirement to minimize the amount you pay to the government each year, perhaps by optimizing how you draw from different account types or balancing capital gains versus dividend income.
More complex tax stuff.
Right. And finally, sometimes it's just about the desire for peace of mind.
Can't put a price on that.
You really can't. Or, quite simply, you just want the immense confidence and the calm that comes from knowing your financial plan is sound. Knowing that you've accounted for potential contingencies, like unexpected health costs, and that you're truly on track for a secure future. That peace of mind alone can be well worth the investment in professional advice.
Okay, those are really clear scenarios. So if someone decides, yes, I think I could use some help, finding a good advisor in BC is the next crucial step. And I imagine this isn't a decision to take lightly.
Not at all. It's a really important relationship. Here are a few key things to look for.
Okay, lay them out for us.
Number one, and this is perhaps the most important piece of advice I can give, especially for seniors. Look for a fee-only fiduciary advisor.
Fee-only fiduciary. Okay, break that down. What does fiduciary mean?
Fiduciary means they are legally and ethically obligated to act in your best interest, always. They must put your financial well-being ahead of their own potential compensation or any other consideration.
Okay, my interests first. That sounds essential.
It is. And fee only means they are paid a direct fee by you for their advice. This could be an hourly rate, maybe a flat fee for creating a financial plan, or perhaps a percentage of the assets they manage for you. The key is they are not earning commissions from selling you specific financial products.
Why is that important? No commissions.
Because it significantly reduces potential conflicts of interest. An advisor who earns commissions might, consciously or unconsciously, be incentivized to recommend a product that pays them a higher commission, even if it's not the absolute best fit for your specific needs and goals. A fiduciary, fee-only advisor avoids this conflict entirely, ensuring their recommendations are truly aligned with your best interests, not their sales targets.
Got it. Fiduciary fee only. What else?
Second, check your credentials. Look for reputable professional designations. In Canada, the gold standard is often considered the Certified Financial Planner, or a CFP designation.
CFP. Okay.
This indicates they have met rigorous standards for education, examination, experience, and ethics, all set by the Financial Planning Standards Council, FPSC, here in Canada. Other relevant Canadian designations might include Chartered Investment Manager, or CIM, or perhaps Fellow of CSI, FCSI. It shows a level of tested expertise.
Look for the letters. Good tip.
Third, ask for referrals. Talk to trusted friends, family members, or colleagues who have had positive experiences with their own financial advisors. Personal recommendations can be very powerful, but always remember to still do your own due diligence afterwards. Don't just take their word for it blindly.
Right. Do your own homework, too.
Fourth, interview a few advisors. Don't just settle for the very first one you meet or the one whose office is closest. Treat it like hiring any key professional who will play a major role in your life.
Like hiring a contractor for your house.
Exactly. Interview at least 2 or 3 different advisors. This helps you find someone whose communication style, whose investment philosophy, and whose personality really resonate with you.
Yeah.
You need to feel comfortable in trusting them with your financial future, and specifically ask about their experience working with Canadian seniors and retirees.
Find the right fit.
Yes. And fifth, understand their fee structure up front. Before you commit to anything, get a clear, detailed breakdown in writing of exactly how they are compensated. Is it hourly? A percentage of assets under management, often called AUM. A flat fee for a specific plan. Ensure there are absolutely no hidden costs and that you understand precisely what services are covered by that fee. Transparency is key.
Absolutely. And during those interviews, what are some really key questions to ask an advisor? Things that will give you critical insights.
Excellent point. Here are a few essentials I'd recommend asking any potential advisor.
Okay.
First, what are your qualifications and what is your specific experience working with retirees or those nearing retirement? Do you understand the unique challenges and opportunities of this stage of life, particularly related to Canadian tax laws and benefits like OAS and CPP?
Good one. Test their retire knowledge.
Second, how are you compensated? Are you a fiduciary? Please explain your fee structure clearly. This directly addresses their potential conflicts of interest and confirms their commitment to transparency and acting in your best interest.
Get it on the table.
Third, what's your overall investment philosophy? Are you generally conservative, more growth-oriented, or do you take a balanced approach? How will your philosophy align with my personal goals and my risk tolerance? You want to make sure their general approach aligns with your comfort level.
Make sure you're on the same page.
Fourth, can you provide references from other long-term clients who are in situations similar to mine? Now, due to privacy rules, they might not be able to give you specific names and contact info, but they should be able to offer anonymized testimonials or perhaps general examples of how they've helped other clients with comparable financial profiles and goals.
See proof of relevant experience.
And maybe fifth, How often will we typically meet or communicate? And what is your usual response time if I have questions between meetings? Good, ongoing communication is absolutely key to a successful long-term advisory relationship.
Excellent. Very practical questions. That's incredibly helpful and detailed advice. So, to kind of sum the section up, here's some lively later life smart advice from us. Don't hesitate to invest in good financial advice.
Hear, hear.
While, yes, there's typically a fee involved, think of it this way: that small upfront investment could potentially save you much more down the road. It could save you from costly mistakes, like maybe falling victim to a financial scam, making poor tax decisions that cost you thousands, or investing in products that simply don't suit your needs at all.
And prevent missed opportunities, too.
Exactly. Prevent you from missing out on significant opportunities to grow your wealth safely and effectively. And as we keep emphasizing, it provides that invaluable confidence and genuine peace of mind. It's truly an investment in your future well-being, not just an expense.
Well said.
And just adding a specific Canadian touch here, especially for our listeners here in BC, make sure you look for advisors who are properly registered with the BC Securities Commission or the equivalent securities regulator in your province. This adds that extra layer of confidence and security, confirming they are legitimate and regulated professionals.
Absolutely crucial check. Outro. Well, there you have it, lively later life friends. We've taken quite a deep dive today into smart investing for seniors.
We certainly have.
Exploring those essential steps and strategies to really help you grow your nest egg safely and wisely, aiming for a truly prosperous retirement. We covered a lot of ground, didn't we?
We did. From understanding that fundamental why of investing in retirement, all the way through to the practical how, choosing appropriate options, diversification, and seeking that professional guidance when needed.
Yeah.
That's right. And remember, everyone, the true purpose of investing in retirement isn't about chasing huge, unsustainable returns or, heaven forbid, risking what you've worked so hard to build over a lifetime.
Not at all.
Instead, it's really about protecting your hard-earned savings from that silent erosion of inflation, ensuring their longevity so they last as long as you do, and generating that crucial income to support the lifestyle you desire. By taking the time to understand your own personal risk tolerance, embracing that powerful principle of diversification we talked about, and knowing when and why it makes sense to seek professional guidance, you are actively building a more robust and resilient financial future for yourself.
It's about being proactive.
It really is. It's about being proactive, staying informed, and taking control of your financial destiny.
And your money, truly, can continue to work for you. It's not just a static pile sitting there. Think of it as a living asset that can continue to grow and provide the financial security, the comfort, and that profound peace of mind you absolutely deserve in your golden years.
Well said.
So embrace this opportunity to learn, perhaps to adjust, to grow your wealth, and to ensure your retirement years are as rich and fulfilling as your fondest dreams.
Absolutely. And if this deep dive today has helped you feel even just a little more confident, or maybe a lot more confident about your own investment journey, please do give us a quick thumbs up right now.
Yeah, let us know.
It really helps us know we're on the right track and that this content is resonating with you, our community. And please don't forget the most important thing for keeping our community growing. Please subscribe to the Lively Later Life channel and make sure you hit that notification bell.
Ding, ding.
That way, you won't miss out on more episodes coming up in our Smart Spending series. And of course, all the other valuable content we create just for you, our amazing, lively, later life family. We're really building this resource together.
We absolutely are. And we'd love to keep the conversation going. We'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Maybe tell us, what's one small practical step you're thinking of taking this week to review or perhaps even start your own investment strategy after listening today?
Ooh, a challenge.
Or perhaps, what's an investment myth you've heard that you'd like us to maybe debunk in a future deep dive? Let us know.
Great question.
Share your financial wisdom. Share your questions in the comments below. Your insights, your experiences. They genuinely can light up the path for others in our community, fostering this shared journey towards a more secure and prosperous retirement for everyone.
Beautifully put. Until next time, everyone, invest smart, live fully, and keep embracing your lively later life to the absolute fullest.